Hi friends, welcome to my not a sewing vlog. I'm drinking out of my cheerful mug today. I know I've told the story before, but I bought this mug, I don't know, so many years ago, like 15 years ago or something. I saw it in the window of a shop and I thought it looked so cheerful with all its bright colors and inner orange. I decided to walk into the shop and buy it, and I call it my cheerful mug because I was in need of a cheerful mug today. Today's tea is lavender and chamomile. Because I pulled the tea bags out of the little tin that they came in, I don't recall who supplies them, so I apologize for that. But lavender and chamomile, I believe with honey, is the flavor, and it's one of my favorites. I look like fall. I look like autumn today, even though it's February and nearing spring. Going through what I'm sure so many of us, especially women, tend to go through, where you hate all your clothes, where you just look at your clothes and you're like, I hate all of this. I hate everything. I don't want to wear any of this. I hate it all. I just want to throw it all out the window. Or I want to wear like my really fancy ball gown dresses every day. But then again, I don't. I want to wear my pajamas every day. So it's kind of all up in the air. And when I was looking for something to wear, I was like, well, I'm cold. And a corner of the skirt, because it was in a pile on the floor, because that is my life, was peeking out. And I was like, oh, my big golden sunflowers. And the skirt, or this sweater, I don't know if you can tell the color. It's kind of a plum color, like a plum purple. And the background on my skirt is actually a plum purple. So I decided, since I was cold, I was going to wear my sweater. And because seeing this skirt poke out from under my clothes made me happy, I was going to wear my sunflower skirt because it's bright and cheery and happy. I realize you don't get to see much of it in the video because I'm from like waist up most of the time, but it's there down below, being its cheerful self, just beneath the surface. I realized that recently I have been posting, I haven't been posting very well on Instagram, and I know I missed posting a random extra content video on Sunday. Luckily, I have renamed it Random Extra Content Videos, so there may not always be one. I'm hoping that there will be most of the time, but there may not always be one. And this week, I couldn't manage it. I tried, and I couldn't. Just like I tried to have this video ready for Wednesday, and I also couldn't manage that. Having a week, a month, a year, I don't know. A year, really. I'm having a year. As most of you know, my little family started off the year jobless for both of us, and it's been a struggle to be entering February with still no jobs. My handsome, brilliant husband is getting interviews, which is so nice, and we've got our fingers crossed, and we're very hopeful, but I am not. And I've already been dealing with some depression the past few months due to some health issues and some other things going on. But this on top of those has just kind of added to the depression pile. I think there are a couple of contributors to why I'm not getting interviews. I think a main one is that for 3 years, I was a full-time college student. The past like 3.5 years. And so they see this big old gap on my, and no matter how I arrange my resume, no matter how I word my cover letters, there's still this gap. And even though in my brain I thought, oh, hey, get your degree and then things will be awesome. Education was always really important in my family growing up. My parents got their degrees and even higher degrees. Dad went to law school. Their college degrees hung on the wall in the office for us to see. They were proud of them. They were proud of the work they did, and they should be. You know, that's a lot of time, energy, effort, money that go into these degrees. But they also wanted them there as an example to their children. And I think that's why, since I was 18 years old until this past summer, I would get fed up and upset, or things with life would happen and I would quit college, but I'd always find myself starting college up again. And eventually quitting and starting up again. Quitting, starting up again. I've had a million majors. I've done a million things. But I think I can credit them as to why I just kept trying again and again, over and over again, and finally made it. But somehow I thought that all that effort, all that time, all that money would somehow grant me magical access to jobs. And it doesn't. I know I've said all this before, so I'm just ranting at this point. It's a vlog, people. It's a vlog. I'm ranting, but this week, though, has been, last week and this week has been particularly hard because there's other aspects of depression that are settling in that are kind of unexpected and kind of attacking me. And I'm dealing with them. I'm not going to go into those because I've also found with the video that I did about my haircut, I've kind of found my limit on just how personal I want to get with in my videos. Honestly, the haircut video was a little too personal. Showing that side of my anxiety and whatnot is it's a little much for what I want to share with the general public. Not that you're not my friends, but you know. So at least I know where my line is. Okay. Moving on. Let's move past that. So I'm up, I'm dressed, I did my hairs, I put some makeup on. I'm very proud of myself today. I've been working on some projects I've already got. I've got 2 of my cosplays for Emerald City partially done, and fabrics just came for the 3rd one. So as you know, I'm going to be doing Madame Carp from the Barbie Princess and the Popper series, because I'm going to be in a little cosplay group on Friday with a princess, a Popper, and a who's the evil dude? I can't remember his name. I think I told you. I'm not a huge fan of the Barbie movies just because the style reminds me too much of video games. But I love the outfits in them, and I love the music. I listen to the music. So I've seen them all at least once. And I love looking up at cosplayers who cosplay the different outfits and whatnot. So the materials for my Madame Carp cosplay has come. It's going to be crazy, and I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be one of the more kind of fun, silly, just running around cosplays I get to do. Also, on Saturday, and then you all know on Sunday I'm going to be doing my Merryweather as a dress form cosplay, which is coming along very well. Right now I'm working on pinning up the outer kind of dress section onto the underdress part of it, and then I'll be adding in the exterior bows and some of the excess zigzag stitching, and then after that I'll be working on the sleeves, the giant long sleeves, and the big collar. Saturday I'm going to be cosplaying with this group of 2 cosplayers who I absolutely adore. I will tell you about that at a later time, but I'm going to tell you about the cosplay. I stumbled into doing this cosplay group by complimenting another cosplayer on their cosplay of, oh, goodness, her name just left my brain. The mean sister from Ever After. You know, the beautiful, blonde, blue-eyed, goddess boobies looking one from Ever After. Anyway, and I was like, are you going to be wearing that to Emerald City? Because I would totally dress up like Jacqueline, the brunette sister who tends to be a little on the nicer side, and run around with you. And I was like, I know someone who dresses up like Danielle at the ball. And the outfit that this cosplayer had was the Mean Sisters ball gown, like the blue velvet, beautiful peacock outfit. So I was like, it'd be awesome if she was planning to wear that. So we kind of roped her in, and next thing we knew, we have an Ever After cosplay group, which I am so excited about. It's going to be amazing. I looked everywhere for fabric. I can be too much of a perfectionist, I think. I mean, I had the movie on the big screen TV, and I'm like standing. Handsome hubby's laughing at me because I'm like standing in front of the TV being like, pause. Okay, go back a little. Play. Pause. And then I'd hold up my phone and take pictures. I'm just like, and some of the fabrics that I found, the prints are just too small, because the prints, Jacqueline, the slightly plus size, but not really. I mean, come on, not really. Raven-haired daughter. She wears a lot of green. Like, green is her color. Like, she basically wears green through the whole movie. And she wears like 3 outfits through the whole movie, really. And all of them are these like, I always pause when I have to say a fabric type, because I don't know if I'm saying it right. Jacquard? Jaqard, I think is how you say it. They're either that or like a thick taffeta print. No, I don't think it's print. Anyway, I think it's a Jacquard with a big, like, kind of leaf, floral looking, not floral, but like leaf almost looking design, but that like repeats. And it's usually like green on green, like a lighter green on a darker green, or whatever. And she has one dress where it's like a lighter green with a, well, not lighter, like a medium green with a dark green design on it, and that's the whole dress, like the top with the little, you know, under waist, because this is like the I think it's set in like the late 1490s. And then the wide, you know, skirt. And then they have you can do either the poofy sleeves or the tight sleeves, depending on what type of time period you're going for. But they kind of mix time periods a little bit in the movie. We are not going to go into that because I love this movie and I'm not picking it apart because it is perfection. I love it. Anyway, so, and then she has kind of another everyday dress that is like I believe it's I think it's like a black or very, very dark green, like bodice with a dark green print with a lighter design, and then the same on the sleeves. And then for the ball, I believe she's wearing the dress. Well, okay, so I'm not sure. The dress she appears to be wearing for the ball has what I believe is like a dark green, like very, very dark green velvet bodice, a dark green skirt fabric with a slightly lighter, like antiqued gold or light green, almost looking gold fabric, but it's very dark, like a dark antique gold. And then her sleeves kind of look the reverse of the skirt, where it's like the antique gold or lighter green that almost looks antique gold in the background with the pattern in the darker green on the sleeves. So the sleeves kind of stand out, look a little fancier for the ball. Anyway, all of this randomness. So I'm looking for this ball gown fabric everywhere. Have no money, like no money. So I can only buy the cheapest of fabrics, which for an outfit like that, you can't find. So I'm also digging through my sewing room, trying to figure out, you know, how I'm going to organize this mess. What am I going to do? Oh my gosh, just causing all the stresses. And at the bottom of a bin, I find this. I find this fabric that I bought in 2003 with my best friend at the time from a place in Utah that no longer exists. Now, I wish it was a jacquard weight. It's a brocade weight. You know, which might be a little on the heavy side for a Comic-Con, but because it's a brocade, I don't have to line this, which is awesome. And because it's reversible, I also don't have to line it. So, you know, my phone did that thing where it zoomed in on me. Hate it when it does that. Anyway, I don't know if my phone and this lighting is doing this fabric justice. It is this beautiful, deep, deep emerald green with this very antiqued gold, almost like bronzy color, which is just perfect for her dress. And then on the opposite side, it's perfect for her sleeves. Like perfection. I'm like, this has been in my stash this whole time. I've already got it, part of the skirt sewn together. Believe it or not, that is a seam right there. I pattern matched the crap out of that. I don't usually pattern match when I sew seams, but it felt kind of important for this dress. So that is a pattern match seam right there. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? That is a thing of beauty, and I did it. I'm so excited for this outfit and to run around amok. I've got part of the materials, and I'm looking for the rest to make my horse head mask. So, you know, I can run around and tell people I'm only here for the food. Um, and then I have this beautiful, I don't think that's going to show up. I don't know. I don't think it is. Deep, deep emerald green velvet for the bodice. This is actually going to be slightly one of the easier outfits to sew once I finish the cartridge pleating, which is how I'm going to attach the skirt to the bodice. Why cartridge pleating, you may ask? I paused the crap out of that video. There's a scene where evil sister, nicer sister, and stepmother are coming down the stairs at the house in their ball gowns, ready to go to the ball, or the festival, or whatever. They call it something else, kind of. Well, they call it a ball, but they also call it something else in the movie. Anyway, and that is the only time in the entire movie that you get like a full look at nicer stepsister's dress. At the ball, you only see it from like under boobs up. So you do not see the skirt like at all at the ball. The only time you get to see the skirt of her dress is that scene right there. So I watched it like 10 times. I'm pausing it, taking pictures, I'm taking notes, and I like paused it and zoomed in, took pictures on my camera, put my camera up, zoomed in. And that sucker is cartridge pleated to that bodice. So I will be cartridge pleating. If you do not know what cartridge pleating is, I just realized I have an excellent example because I never put anything away. Right here in front of you. This is my Italian dress. So these are cartridge pleats. And it's when you create little loops in the fabric, and then you sew them directly to the bodice. Now these ones are so thick because they're padded a little bit. I don't think I'm going to pad those ones because the fabric's already so thick. And this is what the inside of my cartridge pleats look like. And you can see how they are sewn directly to the bodice right there. And they're looped. And here's the little, this is the padding. It's just felt that I padded them with. And yeah, it's the little loops that have been padded. So that's cartridge pleating. There's my example. Happened to have handy. See, not putting stuff away sometimes works for you. I really shouldn't feel any joy or happiness about that because it's not a good thing that that stuff is hanging out there. So I'm hoping to have Jacqueline's dress done by this weekend. So I can tick that off my cosplay list. Yeah, I'm trucking along. I am losing steam with my sewing and getting these cosplays perfected, yeah, but prepared. Mostly not because I don't want to do them, not because I don't want to wear them, just because of the way I've been feeling. Depression's a weird animal. You can know that you have it and be like, I want to do better. I want to be better. You know, well, I don't have to be like this. And it still like gets you. It still attacks you. I was telling Handsome Hubby today, I said, it's so weird. I know what needs to be done. I know what I want to be doing. I know what I should be doing. And yet I find myself curled up on the couch with a blanket wrapped around me, watching some TV show I've seen 50 million times, probably because I feel comfort from from watching that show. Because I know it. It's comfortable. It's, there's nothing new. I don't have to pay tons of attention to something new. And I sit on that couch and feel bad about myself because I'm sitting on the couch doing nothing when I should be cleaning, organizing, sewing, 50,000 other things. And, but it's like swimming through sludge trying to get yourself to do anything. And that feels ridiculous, but it still happens. And also, like, it's like your brain turns on you when you do say, okay, I'm going to get up and I'm going to work on that and it's going to happen. I'm doing it right now. Your brain says, are you? You'll probably just end up putting that somewhere and it's going to be a bother there more than it is here. Or if you do that, you're going to have to do this, and then you're going to have to do that. And it's going to be this whole chain of events. And are you really going to get to all of that today? And then you're going to feel bad that you don't get to all of that. I mean, it's like your self attacks yourself. Anyway, I do not want any advice on how to deal with it. I love you all, and I know plenty of you deal with depression. I'm working on it. I have my own things in my life that are helping and dealing with, and therapy and all of the stuff. So let's not barrage me with advice. But I really do feel for people who are in the same like self-prison where it's like you're in a prison. You can see outside the bars all the things you want, and the key is in your hand. But it seems like such an effort to open the door. The door seems like it would be so heavy. It was a lot. I wasn't really going to get into all of that tonight, but I did. So that was a lot. I'm sorry. One more comment, totally unrelated. When you get new fabric, and I need to know this for self. I need to know this. When you get new fabric, for example, do you undo your fabric, hold it up, and then fling it over your body and pretend you were 8 years old and dressing up in a fancy princess clothes, and then prance around your living room, sometimes singing like Disney princess songs? Because I do. When I was little, I would spend summers with my grandma, who was my favorite person. And my grandma quilted. And some of the quilt fabrics she had were these beautiful, like, satins and shiny, beautiful fabrics. And I would go downstairs to play when she had, like, stuff to do upstairs. And I would pull out these fabrics and I would wrap them around me and create these long trains and these big skirts. And then I'd wrap some over my head, and I would jump up and down on the bed so that they'd fluff up and down in the air. And I'd pretend that I was a beautiful princess and that I was going to the ball. And I would also pretend sometimes that I was being interviewed, and I had to tell someone all about my dress and how I designed it, and that this is what it looks like. And I would have lots of fun. And then grandma would come downstairs and laugh and tell me how beautiful I looked. And then my mom would come to pick me up and be like, oh, what are you doing? You are making grandma's fabrics all wrinkled. You fold those up and put them right back where you found them and don't play with them ever again. I also may have cut pieces of her fabric, my favorites of her fabrics when I was little. I take scissors downstairs and cut like little squares to take home with me. And I hide them and I pull them out and I would feel them and daydream about princess dresses. And my grandma would go to work on a quilt project and find these little pieces cut out of her quilts. She figured out they were me, but she didn't tell on me. Mom did find out at one point in time, and I got in big trouble. I was like much older. I still get in trouble for things I did when I was a kid. Do you? I'm like super old and I still get in trouble sometimes. And when my grandma passed away, I inherited a few of her fabrics, though to this day I wonder what happened to that big, glorious fabric stash she had. I mean, I guess it probably went to one of my aunts, but as far as I know, neither of them quilt, so kind of bummed it didn't come to me. But maybe people didn't think about that. But I did get some. I did get a few. And I'm actually really hoping to use some of those fabrics in projects this year so that I can wear them and think about my grandma and how being with her and loving her things made me begin my love with fabrics and big princess dresses and how I dress up even today. Anyway, not going to get emotional in this video. I'm not going to do it. I made it all the way through. We're done now. Thank you for bearing with me when I have down weeks and just cannot post my usual stuff. I know that I'm not the usual type of poster people who are constantly trying to get followers and stuff. I just kind of am being me. And I appreciate you for appreciating that. I really do appreciate all of you. I still check out every single new follower to see who you are and what you're all about. And I read all your comments and I have a package to mail to Australia. Anyway, you know who you are. I love you guys, and I will see you